back to the Surrey Hills for another edition of the Technique feature. This issue we're going to look at a common theme that people refer to in their riding in terms of some way of improving their riding, getting faster, getting better, riding smoother, the one of line choice. But we prefer not to think just of line choice. That implies that there is only one line. For each and every rider there might be a different line which serves them better, and we like to refer to that as the golden thread. So this issue, stick with us and we'll help you find that golden thread down your favourite trails.
So what we're going to be looking at is the golden thread for you, making sure that you're on the right line, making the most of your skills, your bike and the terrain that you want to ride. Don't get fooled into riding the line that everyone else is on, because that might not be the quickest line for you. And so the golden thread is all about being individual and finding the quickest way down the trail and the best way of carrying speed through sections.
So we're going to pick a little trail, follow it from start to finish and just work our way down, thinking about different aspects, different skills to apply and different reasons that you might take different lines and how they might be suited to you and the riding that you do, rather than just following the tyranny of the tyre mark that might have been left by someone of far higher, far lower skills, far faster, or on a very different machine to you.
Putting together all of the elements that we've worked on over the last few issues, looking at how we can put them together to carry that speed through those sections, to take the right amount of speed into the section and then build on that and carry it out the other side. Looking at how we can make sure that we're doing everything we should be to get to the end of the trail as safely with as much speed as we can carry.
So in terms of choosing a line here and finding the golden thread for you as the rider, there isn't a whole heap of options here, but there are little differences in terms of line that we might choose. But more than that, there's a difference in the way we might choose to approach this section. Some riders might choose to pump through some of these transitions, some people might choose to manual over them, making sure that the bike doesn't stall so much and therefore carry more speed. Others opting for more of a pumping technique to generate speed.
So what you're looking at here is just working out which skills you have the most of and how you can work to enable yourself to carry more speed through. Coming in, making sure you're setting your body position, your footwork and your looking, all ensure that as you come into the section you're ready to tackle what's ahead.
So here's another little example of how we might be able to identify for ourselves our own personal golden thread. We've got a little rise in the trail here and actually leads into a corner into the next section quite rapidly, so slightly overlapping. Pretty much got three choices here. One very obvious, nice and simple, roll down, just roll that lump, maybe put in a little pump on the upside and the downside. Choice number two is maybe have a little bit more fun with the trail, play with the trail a bit more and pop off, have a little jump off that log, that tree stump. The third, perhaps a more subtle line, but perhaps is the faster line in terms of setting up for the next piece of trail, is to come up the inside line to slightly to the right of that stump, push off the little mound and actually land slightly further on the outside, which will set us up for the corner and an earlier apex into the next corner. We can get our outside foot down and rail through that corner, perhaps carrying a bit more speed than if we pop off, land a little bit heavy, lose some speed in the stall of the bike landing, and then maybe also just delay our thinking a little bit further and push the problem down the trail of not dealing with the corner soon enough. So three little choices. We're going to run through and take one, two or three and just have a little play with this little section.
One of the things you'll notice here, as Richard said, is this is really why we call it the golden thread. Because if you look at this trail, very much single track trail, not a lot of options immediately spring to mind, but a good rider will be able to find that little thread, that little fastest line that runs through the section, and as Rich said, that's what we're going to have a look at now.
So in this first run through, we're going to see Ian take the left-hand line very slightly to the left of the stump, use the small transition to pump the upslope and then pump the downslope, generate a little bit of speed. Quite a nice simple technique, quite a nice easy way of doing things, and certainly going to help him carry speed down the trail. Now option two for Ian, he's going to hit the tree stump and actually get a little bit of airtime, a bit more fun, a bit more playful, possibly going to hit it a little bit faster as he comes through. But some of that speed might be lost in the landing in terms of a little bit of impact and a little bit of stall, but certainly not, don't rule it out. Mountain biking is about having fun, not just about going fast, but we'll see how that affects his line choice through the corner and how that drives issues down the trail further. And finally, perhaps the more or the less obvious of the options, the one that perhaps a more experienced rider might see, certainly someone who's spent time looking at sections in a race head-on, trying to eke out those little marginal gains, is just to slip slightly to the right, push off and get a better line into the corner.